Welcome back for those who are watching or listening to us. I hope you guys are doing good. This is posting on the last day of the year, so happy New Year's Eve from us to you. Hopefully, you've been hearing our latest episodes, but this is going to be a interesting one. I think one of our initial dreams for this podcast was to not always be only Christian topics, but just three Christian friends being open about their lives and their faith being mixed in there, right? So today we have a great topic that Joshua Wolfe will be leading us with. So hopefully you guys appreciate that. Take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for that. I think today's topic will be pretty interesting, especially with the new year being tomorrow as the time you're listening to this. I was researching, some articles. I was doing some thinking about New Year's resolutions, and every time around this time of year, I would be exposed to people telling me what their New Year's resolutions were. I would be thinking, well, maybe I should do a New Year's resolution. And this has happened, the majority of my life. I've been around people who do them. I see people who do them. I've tried it at times in my life. And really, what I want to discuss today is, are New Year's resolutions powerful or pointless? Is there any point to them? Do they
Yeah.
really help? Is there real success? Is there tangible success in people's lives with doing New Year's resolutions? Um, I was looking up, it's a BBC article, and it was saying that New Year's resolutions are often seen as arbitrary, but they have psychological merit due to something called the fresh start effect. This phenomenon creates a sense of a clean slate, making people feel capable of overcoming past failures. So that's just a little bit of what the article goes over, but I did want to kind of look a little bit about our experiences with New Year's resolutions and talk about some of the psychological benefits and maybe some of the drawbacks that New Year's resolutions can have and create in people. And also, what our thoughts are about it. So to give it like an overview, I kind of told you a little bit about my experience with New Year's resolutions. Um, I never really, now I'm just going to be honest up front. I never really stuck to New Year's resolutions. I'm part of that percentage of people that would quit or fail in the year. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to go ahead and be upfront and honest about that. Because now the funny thing is when I would start a goal in the middle of the year, even in like November or December, I would like keep that goal running. Like I would keep that goal. I would hit the goals. I would do it. But if I just said a New Year's resolution, for some reason it didn't really stick with me when I started it at New Year's. And those New Year's resolutions changed for me over time. Sometimes it was losing weight, and sometimes it was like a faith-based goal. I'm going to read my Bible every single day.
Yeah.
I've
So
had that resolution. Uh,
what is so was it like always the same type of resolutions, or did you try different things different years? Because I know like a common one is losing weight, right? That's a common for a lot of people. And I feel like some people have that resolution year after year after year after year. Um, Whereas other people actually like sit down and think and say, okay, this is what I want to do new this year. And they might not change, like it might not be something general like losing weight, but like it might be like this year I just want to be more active, or this year I want to be, like you said, read my Bible more, or whatever. So like were you like that, or are you like that where you have like the same ones, or are you more specific with
See,
things?
I used to be very specific. Recently, though, yeah, I have had a little bit more of a vague goal, and those are actually have more success, but they weren't really New Year's resolutions. My year could be, I want to be more organized in my life. I want to be healthier. So I'm taking my diet and exercise more seriously. So I'm focusing on my health. I want to, improve my mental health and my spiritual health. So I'm like, okay, so prayer, meditation, improve my mental and spiritual health, build better relationships with people. Those are some of the things and goals that I could have, but they weren't really like specific. Like, I'm going to do this at this time and this day. It was very vague. The types of goals I've had more recently in life.
Hmm.
But I would want to ask, like, what is your each of you, what is your experience with New Year's resolutions? Have you made them? Do you make them? What's your experience with them?
I'll let Amari start while I get a drink, but let
Okay.
her do.
So I think I talked about this in passing, in our regular friendship conversations. Um, so there was one time in high school where our youth leader asked us to write down our resolutions. And like I wrote them down, and I don't even remember where I kept it, to be quite honest. I just remember it was supposed to be in a place where we can go back and look at it so that we could remember it. But wherever I put it, it wasn't it wasn't back. I didn't go back and look at it often. So I had written down three only, and the first one was that I wanted to choreograph my own songs. Or I don't know if I put one. I think I just put I want to choreograph a song because I was in a period in my life where I hadn't been doing it as often, or I didn't do it often. Like, and what I wanted to be done is I wanted to choreograph it, and then I wanted it to be like presented somewhere. But I didn't put that on the paper. I just put that I wanted to choreograph a song. And then another thing I wrote was that I wanted to read the Bible every day. Um, And then the third thing, this is where I can't remember exactly what it was. I don't remember if it was to exercise more or to eat more vegetables, but it was somewhere along the health track. It wasn't to lose weight though, because
It
I
was,
was like 94 pounds. I did not need to lose weight. Um, so I know it was like something that had to do with health. Now, I completely forgot that I had written those down, but then at the end of the year, my youth leader was wrapping up her lessons, and I guess she wanted to kind of do like a lesson similar to this of like, you know, our resolutions, do they help us or do they not? Or like if you did some, did you complete them? And then she asked us to take out the resolutions. And to my surprise, I think it was like hanging around in my purse, and I was like, "Oh, the card is in here." And so I pulled out the card where I had written down the resolutions, and I was already thinking, "Oh, I failed because I don't even remember what I wrote."
yeah. See,
Oh! I do
you
remember.
remembered? You
Yeah,
remembered.
it was.
That
It,
scared me.
What was it?
it was to get all A's.
Oh, but you
Uh,
failed that one, huh?
no, I got that semester or that year, whatever it was. I got all A's. Well, anyways, so the first thing that I had written down, I actually did. I choreographed a song, or I think I did two with a friend, and we were actually able to present them to the church. Like we were able to minister with those with the choreography. And then the second thing was I did read the Bible every day. Now that was challenging. And I think that was a resolution that I was keeping in
You
the back.
did read the Bible every day? You
Yeah,
said?
I didn't
Oh,
read the whole thing.
but you did
And all
read a
that.
portion of it every day.
Yeah, because I know people do the whole
The
like
whole Bible in a year?
yeah,
Yeah.
read the Bible in 365 days, and I was like, I did not do the
No.
whole thing.
You have to do a lot of chapters
I
actually to
did,
finish the
yeah,
Bible.
I think I just did like one or two chapters a day. It just depended on how busy I was because I was a very busy high schooler. So there were some days where I was like, okay, I have time to read 2 chapters, so I would read 2 chapters. And then there was times where I was like, oh no, I only have time for one, so I would
Mm.
read them. Um, and then the whole grades thing, I mean, that one was just like, I think it was just by chance, or what's the word? It was just a coincidence. I don't know.
Like you didn't get it, or you?
That I did get straight A's is because I was very close to
It's not coincidence. I feel like
You're
sometimes,
saying because you forgot and then you got it anyway? You're
yeah.
saying, Irvin, you're saying it's not coincidence
well,
that you only.
I feel like it is coincidence, but in the same way is like some of us make resolutions that are easy to attain.
Well, that wasn't
Uh,
easy for me because
you're a smart kid. You're smart. You were a smart kid, and that's what I'm trying to say. It's like,
You're a smart kid. You're a smart
yeah.
thank
kid.
you, but
It's
it was challenging.
it's like if I made a resolution of I'm not gonna smoke for the rest of the year. Well, I don't smoke, right?
You,
No.
that's a, I can complete that sort of
I can complete
resolution.
that one pretty
Something I'm not
easily.
already doing. So I just don't pick up smoking this year, and I completed a New Year's resolution.
Yeah, yeah, and a good
Wow.
one, and a good one.
I'm not gonna pick up smoking.
I'm gonna quit smoking. So I think, well, and I'm not saying it's not that there's no effort. There was obviously effort in her to get the A's. I don't want to, I guess minimize the effort there,
I
but
think you're making it seem like I'm way smarter than I actually am. I was even
I mean,
out.
you got all A's. Give yourself some credit.
I was
Give
literally about
yourself
to
some
say
credit.
that I was just so close to the valedictorian then that like we did all of our projects together and they were immediate A's. Um
Well, you're being very humble. Very
yeah,
humble.
yeah, yeah,
and
Give
then
yourself some credit.
we did most of our like homework together and then whenever there was like a test, he would make his own study guides, but they wouldn't give us study guides and like I would look over the study guides and so I don't know.
yeah.
Mm. Well,
My experience with resolutions, I don't know. I feel like I never had like I didn't think of resolutions until I was maybe in high school. And even then I wasn't big with it. Um, every year I know we kind of had the same thoughts and prayers as a whole family, and then as a church, healthy lives, successful lives and all that. But I never ever sat down and say, you know what, I'm gonna do this and this until I was probably in high school. And even then, I feel like I was I was encouraged a lot more by the season, which is another resolution season where you give up something like that. That I waited until Lent started for me to give up or try to change any bad habits or stuff like that. So recently I have been doing New Year's resolutions. And I think it's changed a little bit here and there. I think the common one every year that I hit is I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight, right? Um, I feel like even though it's the same, I approach it differently every year. And I've learned recently, which is against what you said earlier, and I think everyone's different, obviously. For me, I have to be a little bit more specific what with my resolution to say, okay, I'm gonna do this to lose
mm,
instead
yeah,
of just
just
say
lose weight.
I want to lose weight. Because to me, it's like I want to lose weight. Okay, well, where do you start, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that come to losing weight, and I feel like there's bad habits that I've lost, and I've gained some bad habits, and I've gotten better at other stuff. So like 2 years ago, maybe a year ago actually. I started adding more vegetables to how I cook. And like now there's a lot more vegetables in our meals, and we're even encouraging our own kids to really try them and
Eat
like
some
learn how
veggies.
to eat with vegetables without to it, right? Because
Yeah.
before, like we ourselves were acting like kids on the table and going like, ugh, I don't want to eat that. And now we push ourselves. Now I don't eat salads still. I'm not at that point
I
yet.
know. I don't know if I've ever seen you eat a salad. Have I? I
Um,
don't
I've
know.
I've probably had three salads in my entire life. Uh,
I think
I know
his
Andres has
problem,
salads all
his
the
problem
time.
with salads is that he doesn't like dressing, and so
You
then
don't like
and
dressing?
so
no.
then he's just eating leaves. Like
Yeah, I don't like vinegar. I don't like the vinegar taste of anything. Um,
Well,
and
there's some other types of
there's
dressings.
other types. I don't like ranch.
you like onions.
Unless ranch is included, like if ranch is one of many ingredients, yes.
You
But
can
if
do it.
ranch is the main ingredient to the yuckiness of the rest of the stuff, it's just no. So I don't like blue cheese. I
See,
mean,
I don't like a lot of dressings either, but actually, sometimes I make dressings at home I like better than the restaurants. But
yeah.
I
Like
do
if
like
it was a
Caesar. Caesar
Chipotle,
salad.
maybe.
Caesar salad is
The
good.
avocado lime, babe.
No, I don't like avocados.
So you don't like avocado-based dressings either, huh?
Yeah. Now I have been eating more avocados. Like that's one of the things. It's like there is stuff that I've been adding. So I think one day I will get to salads, and that's my goal.
Your goal
But
is to eat a salad one day, or eat salads at least once a week,
yeah,
or every once in a while.
yeah, yeah. And like side salads, I can eat side salads. I like if a plate ever has a side salad, I mix it in with the food. So that's kind of what I do is like
Yeah,
I'll eat it with the meat or stuff like that, or like if
yeah,
it's fish and they bring me a bowl of broccoli and carrots, I eat it with the fish.
yeah.
Like side salad is not a deal. When I say I've only eaten three salads, I mean like it being the main course of my meal.
Or that's the main thing you eat.
I can probably remember only three times in my life that I've
Yeah,
eaten.
I made a switch recently where I used to hate salads a lot as
Hmm.
well. I used to really hate salads. I still ate more salads than you though, but I used to didn't really like salads a lot because yeah, the dressing wasn't good, like the toppings were dull or dry, like because they just weren't prepared very well. But once I
Yeah,
found some salads I like, some dressings I like, I'm like, okay, I can do this, and I started eating lots of salads.
yeah,
You have to find something you really like.
yeah. And it's a process, and I
You
feel
get
like
used to it.
for me in the past maybe 4, 3 years, again, losing weight probably has been my main resolution, and I'm gonna say this next year is probably that's gonna be one of my top three. If you're gonna ask that question next, but that's gonna be one of my top
Was
three.
if
I was gonna say
Eh,
where we
I'm,
say
I'm
what
gonna,
resolutions we have.
you're either gonna say what your resolution is, or if you don't have one. But yeah, I was gonna save that closer to the end. But
Yeah, no. Well, I'm just gonna say, through my experience, still, like, I mean, it is part of my resolution next year, but through my experience, um, 2 years ago, not 2 years ago, yeah, 2 years ago, it's been, well, was it a year ago? No, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, very close to actually past the date this video is posting. My father passed away, right? And
yeah,
went through a whole season. I grieved in my own way. Um, and I stress eat. That's who I am. Um,
I
whenever
understand that.
whenever I'm stressed, I eat. So it's very hard in the season now, these past 2 years. One, because as a teacher, December is stressful. But now with emotions in your personal life, it's horrible. So I think it was in February or March, right after my father had passed away, my sugar levels were up in 300s,
Oh
horrible.
yeah,
And I was like you see me right now on camera, perfectly fine, perfectly normal. I didn't feel like I was that high, but I was. So I think one of my New Year's resolutions was later in the year. Again, that's kind of how it works for me. But one of them was to try to quit drinking Coke and Dr. Pepper or anything like that as much as possible. Now, I still drink stuff, but um, I can now say that anything that has actual sugar, I don't like. I've had experiences where they don't have Coke Zero or water or anything like that. They just have Cokes and Sprites, and it tastes like I'm drinking a Jolly Rancher
They're too
or
sweet
like
now for
yeah,
you.
Like a syrup.
it's
Like
just it
syrup.
tastes like straight up syrup. It doesn't taste good to me anymore. So which I wanted to be there, and I like 2 years ago I wouldn't have seen myself there. I was like, nah, I'm never gonna stop it.
I wish I
Um,
was at a place where I didn't like sugar.
Yeah. No, I still like sugar.
Oh.
Don't get me wrong. I still like sugar. But when it comes to, and for me, that was my biggest deal is that I was drinking 6, 7 cans a day of Coke. And I mean, you can imagine my sugar levels were high every single day. Because again, I'm stress eating, and with the eating comes drinking. And I don't drink beer or anything like that. But when it came to Coke, yeah. So
I was gonna
now,
say we can see the
yeah,
camera.
no, I'm still sticking. Yeah,
That's not a beer,
sticking
guys, actually.
to for sure no sugar. So Coke Zeros, that's what I stick to now. If I am drinking a soda, and now this year I've been trying to buy more of these gold ones, which is no sugar and no
What is that?
caffeine. And so
What is it?
it has no sugar and no caffeine because
Are
Coke
you not
Zero.
doing are you doing any caffeine lately or no caffeine either?
Well, if I have a Coke Zero, it has
Has
caffeine.
caffeine.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I am trying to get myself more used to these gold ones, which these basically taste like it tastes like sparkling water cola flavor. That's basically what it tastes like. So it is a little bit more of an acquired taste because
Okay.
Coke Zero, Dr. Pepper Zero tastes just like Coke and just like pepper. If you get used to it, like, but if
Coke
you
Zero
have
to me tastes better than Diet Coke. I like Coke Zero better. It
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
tastes better to me.
yeah. But if you have like a Coke Zero and a Coke back to back, you can taste the difference. Like, you can definitely taste the difference. Especially the Coke to me, it tastes like syrup now. So for sure I can. But
Yeah.
that's one thing. Another thing that happened this year was I wanted to be more in the gym, and it did work out the first half of the year. Second half hasn't been so well. I want to get back to it. I still go once in a while because I'm still paying for it. So part of it is like I'm paying for this.
I know gyms love that. They want you to just pay monthly and never show up. They
yeah,
love that.
yeah, yeah,
Just forget about that payment coming out of your account. The gyms
yeah,
are gonna love that. And then January is coming up is the biggest month of the year for gyms. They're
yeah,
super
yeah.
excited about that, I'm sure. Like
Well,
there's
and
gonna be a
right
lot of
now our
deals and
struggle,
promotions.
and both me and Amadis can testify to this. Our struggle is the kids, and we don't want to put them as an excuse, but I mean, just right now, I'm stepping out and in the camera because I'm trying to put my toddler back to bed. It's hard to do things as parents. Um, to the gym. If I want to go to the gym every day, I have to wake up at 4:30, 5 in the morning to go to the gym to have a full hour and then come back and shower, get the kids, not the kids, get the kids ready, but she gets the kids ready. I get myself ready and then, go to school, drop off the kids to school and go to school. So it's a commitment that I have to put myself, but then she has to do it a different time because we can't just both leave at 5 in the morning to the gym and leave the kids by themselves.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's a little
It's
bit of
it presents a challenge.
it's
Yeah.
a challenge, yeah. Like do you go at night? Do I go in the morning? Which is fine, but we've shared in the podcast she doesn't like to drive. So, so
Okay, yeah, we did reveal that, right? We
yeah,
did
we have
reveal
reviewed
that.
that
Okay.
in
Yes,
the
we did. A
in
few
the phobia
I remember
podcast.
that on the Phobia
The
podcast. I
phobia
remember.
podcast released last week from time of
So
recording.
if you want the details about Amaris not wanting to
I don't think we
drive,
went into very much
Not
well,
detail.
we
like
didn't go into details,
It's
but
fine.
but yeah, I mean
Very
that
much.
puts it
Very much.
where if she wants to go to the gym, I have to take her, which means I have to take all the girls with me. And do we
yeah.
wait for her outside the gym? Do we go somewhere? Like, there's a lot of there's a lot of
Yeah.
things
And you
behind
said the
it.
gyms with childcare are just too much. Like their
They
memberships are
charge a
high,
Too
lot.
a lot of
expensive.
money.
It becomes just a
Yeah.
lot another expense, and I can hear people say, "Well, you can give up, so and so, and
You
that
can
will
already
cover for the gym."
this is now you have a
Yes,
new financial goals for
yeah.
2025.
Yeah, yeah. And I understand like there is sacrifices you can do. But at the time, it's a struggle. It's a struggle.
Yeah,
Like we struggle sometimes to put a full healthy meal on the table.
yeah.
Because let's be honest, it's cheaper to eat unhealthier in the United
It
States.
is cheaper. Like
than-
organic whole food,
yeah,
sometimes it's gonna be more money than like the processed chemical version of the food. It's very,
yeah,
very true. It's
yeah.
sometimes very cheaper to eat unhealthy. It
Yeah,
is.
like we there's a Mexican meal that it's called picadillo, which is just basically ground beef with potatoes in a salsa type of deal, I guess. That's the best way to describe it in English. But I like to now add like zucchini or carrots or stuff like that to take away from just potatoes and meat, and add a little bit more nutrients to the meal. But even that, like when we're when we're broke, which not really broke, but when we're broke, we have to just do potatoes and meat because potatoes are cheap, meat is cheap, zucchini not so much. Same thing
Yeah,
with carrots. Like they can be cheap if you buy in bulk, but again, sometimes we're just complete broken. We can just afford two, three things, and sometimes they're the most unhealthy
no.
things. Same thing like our go-to broke meal is like hot dogs sometimes.
Oh man,
That's
I do
not the
not like
best,
hot dogs.
not the
I
best
don't
thing for
like
your
hot
body.
dogs. No, they're
So
not. They're not.
just white
Spe-
bread and processed meat.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Uh,
I definitely understand like you talked a lot. This is kind of turning into a little bit of a health topic, but that should be expected with New Year's resolutions. It's
yeah.
turning into a little bit of a health discussion.
Doctor,
Um
help
so
me.
I did so actually I did remember I had to have a financial goal for myself back in 2020. That's what it was. I said, "Oh, I want to save $10,000 this year." I actually hit that goal in
Oh wow.
2020, was saving like $10,000, and then don't I spent it all after. So don't
He went to Las
I spent
Vegas and
it.
let's double
I
it.
spent it on several different things. But we won't get into the details on what I spent it on.
Yeah.
But I did remember it wasn't a new I made the goal in January. It wasn't quite on January 1st, but I'm like, okay, I did complete a goal that I was like, okay, I didn't expect to complete it, but I want to save 10,000. But which I ended up spending anyway. But I did complete it that year in 2020. And those stimulus checks helped me
Oh
towards the
yeah.
goal. I put the stimulus checks towards that goal.
I
So
miss
that's like 3K right there, whatever, how many stimulus checks we got. Which that just kind of remind me, oh yeah, financial goals are kind of part of resolutions a lot of the times too. But anyways, transitioning into the next part of our topic, I want to talk a little about the psychology of resolutions.
Yeah.
The article discusses something called the fresh start effect, and how it motivates behavioral changes. For example, like people are like, I want to start a diet on Monday and I'll have a fresh start, a clean slate on Monday.
Yeah.
That's a lot of what happens with New Year's resolutions. People feel like, okay, I haven't really done what I want this year. New Year's comes, I have a fresh start, I have a clean slate. This is going to, give me the motivation that I need. Sometimes people have that on their birthdays, Mondays. So I did want to ask you guys, you know, what is your experience with the fresh start idea? Do you guys ever be like, I'm gonna wait till Monday to start it? Does your birthday create that fresh start effect, or is it more of the New Year's? For me, I would say it's more just maybe my birthday might have more of an effect 'cause I'm like, oh, I'm this age, more than New Year's resolutions. I don't really make those goals, but it does give me like, okay. I'm this age now. We know I'm 1 year older. My birthday. What have I done? What do I need to accomplish? I do think about that on my birthday, and then Monday doesn't really have that same effect with me, unless maybe with work, because with Monday, I don't really like Mondays, which I'm obviously when I'm working a job, I'm like on Sunday, I don't want to go to work on Monday, but um, I don't really have that effect. Like usually when I start a diet, I'm like, okay, if I start on Monday, am I really gonna start it? So I'm like, let's
Yeah.
just start today. Like I usually I'll start my diet on Sunday just because I want to like get a head start or something. So something like, okay, I'll start eating healthy on Sunday night or Sunday to get one day because I know everyone usually says like, let's start on Monday.
Yeah.
But I want to let you guys, talk a little bit about the fresh start effect, or like what you might call the clean slate. 'Cause, because people do like to organize, their life into chapters, to new beginnings. So I'll let you guys talk about. Have you had that experience?
So for me, I know you said the whole Monday thing.
Yes.
I think that's my fresh start day. And
Mhm.
I go through the weekend, almost every single weekend, telling myself on Monday, I'm going to work out like at least 10 minutes. And no, I mean, Monday comes and it never happens. But when it comes to my work, I'll always make a mental note like I have these things to do. I do have a physical list, but in my head I'm going through the list and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this and this and this by Monday. And even with the house, I'm like, okay, on Monday when everyone's at school or at work or whatever, I'm gonna, you know, clean this room first and then on Tuesday I'll do the next room and that like I make those kind of notes and I think that's how it works for me with little things. But like the whole resolution thing, like big resolutions,
Mhm. Yeah.
I haven't really had any in years, or I haven't made any in years, other
Yeah.
than what I said, like the
Yeah.
whole. I mean, not even losing weight,
Yeah.
but just like get some exercise or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Study.
do. I was gonna say I do need to lose weight because I'm like
Yeah.
medically overweight or whatever. But I'm like, I need to take baby steps,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, exactly. I'll let Irvin, give his side, but sometimes dividing a goal into chapters can give you that effect of having a clean slate and a new beginning. So meaning if you have a goal, you divide it up into 12 smaller goals, like for example, for the year, maybe monthly, instead of just this one big yearly goal, because it makes it almost seem unachievable. And it's better for mentally to maybe divide it up into chapters. It gives you more of an appeal with that clean slate, that new beginning, that fresh start effect that we're talking about. So that is a good point you made. Um, Now I guess we'll hear from Irvin if he has
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean, I just wanted to share more examples of the fresh start. I mean, like I
Oh,
said, for me it was Lent. And not just
yeah.
Catholics practice Lent. A lot of people that are outside
Uh,
of the Catholics will also still practice Lent. And you come into a season of renewal and kind of reminder of the cleanness of our sins. Sadly enough, some people will use Fat Tuesday right before the Wednesday, right? And they'll do all their sins and all their
let's get it all in for the rest of the year.
yeah.
make a bunch of pancakes just to be
Yeah.
good one time.
Yeah. So that is, I think it goes against what it actually is for, right? Um, but yeah, that's also I think a lot of adults will use that as a fresh start. And I say that because I feel like New Year's is it affects people differently. I'll use my brother as an example. He's working on the 31st and the 1st sometimes, or he has. So he doesn't get the vacations. Like it's just a no.
Yeah. Another
regular
day.
week, you know,
Yeah.
um, we're gonna have a celebration, yeah, but he has celebrations almost every week or every other week, so it's
He
just
does? I didn't know that. That's
well, it's just
very
another
cool.
holiday. We've counted all of our birthdays, and I think we have a birthday almost in every month, for an exception like of 1 or 2 months. On top of Easter and Thanksgiving and Christmas. So yeah, he has
Oh,
celebrations. And that's just our family. We're not even counting his side,
I know.
his other wife's side of the family. So not other wife,
He has
his
two He
wife,
doesn't have two wives.
you
Okay.
know, his wife's side of the family, which she also has nieces and nephews and also like that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, he does have an event of celebration sort every other week, maybe. So yeah, it's just another holiday for some people. A lot of people don't acknowledge the New Year anymore. So the whole clean start for some people, it's not
Doesn't
here.
exist.
Yeah, so I understand where you're coming from is from when you saying it's more your birthday, which your birthday is in the middle of the year, right? For those that
Yes, it
don't
is.
know. Okay, I know.
He remembers.
I
It's around that time.
remember. Yeah, March, April, May, June. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. It's around that time. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, halfway in the year, I mean, that's for some people like, well, that's crazy. Why would you do that? For me, that's not too crazy. I mean, for me, because of my job, I'm a teacher, right? So we have to believe in fresh starts with some of these kids. If, even if you don't believe in them.
You have to
You got
try.
You're
to.
forced
You
to.
got to. So you talk to a kid on a Friday, say, hey man, you had a rough week. Let's have a fresh start on Monday, right? And for kids that it works like that for kids a lot of the times because their lives revolve around the school year. Me as a teacher, my life right now revolves around the school year. So I do feel a feeling of a fresh start with the new year because I'm entering a time of relaxation of vacation time, but also getting ready for in-laws and everyone coming to my house. We're gonna start cleaning our house and like there's a lot to it. Even just cleaning your house a very detailed way.
Mm.
There's also like you kind of feel like you're cleaning yourself also and getting anything bad out. So for me, lately, I have been feeling New Year's for me, it is like a new clean start. My birthday, not so much, actually, but the summer is another time that I feel like it's like a new slate, new start, because I finished my school year in May. Come June, then we start the summer and basically, if I have any goals for the summer or any things that I wanna start, then it definitely helps that I have like 2 months and a half as vacation time. So
Yeah.
it,
That that is one of the benefits of being a teacher, having that nice break, that nice time to reset, vacation time. That is very nice.
yes. Yes. So there is a reset time in the summer. So it does help.
Okay, well, one of the other things I wanted to discuss with New Year's resolutions is another part of the psychology of it. According to this BBC article, it seems that starting new habits versus quitting bad habits, the new habits are more effective, meaning that people have an easier time creating new habits versus quitting bad habits, such as like smoking or stopping social media. Funny you mentioned smoking earlier.
Yes, yes.
Um, so it seems that people have it's more effective when they're starting something new and fresh versus like, oh, I'm just quitting soda this year
Yeah.
versus I'm gonna start eating vegetables. Like that's creating something new versus I'm just stopping a habit.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts about that? Is starting something new for you guys more effective than stopping something that's bad? Like, is it easier to say, I want to eat vegetables, start eating vegetables here versus I'm going to stop drinking Coke, just as an example? Is starting something new easier than stopping something that's bad? Who-
So I guess I'll start with me.
Yeah.
As a kid or as a high schooler, one of the things that I would give up for Lent or for New Year's oftentimes was soda. Because I knew it was bad. Like
Yeah.
when I learned it was bad, I never I never like acted like it was good for me, right?
Yeah.
I knew it was bad for me. I just liked it, right? With addiction with other stuff is the same way. So I remember stopping drinking for a month or 2 months, which, a lot of people that coach people about addictions are like, if you pass that 30, 40-day barrier, that you're gonna definitely create that never worked for me. I could give up drinking soda for 2 months, and then the moment I started drinking one again, it was
Be
it
right back in it.
was downhill from there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was game over. But yeah, so it never worked for me. But I think when I changed my mind this past year, 2023, when it happened, um, I think I went in with a different mindset because I still like my resolution was still quit drinking soda or sugary drinks, right? Because I wanted to lose weight, and the number one thing that was gaining calories day after day was the sodas. Because I think like one soda is like 240 calories. So imagine drinking 8 sodas. That's, you know,
I know the liquid calories will hurt you.
1800,
They will
1900.
hurt you. Yes.
Yeah, like 1800 calories on just drinks. So,
Yeah.
um, I went in with a mindset of I want to be healthy. One, because I want to be healthy for my family, right? I want to be there for my family longer than my dad was. Um, and I
Yeah.
think that mindset was different than I'm gonna quit just because I know it's bad for me, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so I think it's still a different mindset nonetheless, but still it was negative. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
quit this. I wasn't like, oh, I want to replace it with so on and so forth
Yeah.
because and I've
But
tried. People like, well, why don't you replace soda with waters that have,
sparkling water or
sparkling water. We
something
did that for a while, me and Amaris. It didn't stick.
doesn't take.
It didn't stick, no. We still like them,
It
but
just didn't taste as good.
it doesn't taste as good. Some taste way too sweet. Like even with like
No.
no sugar, they taste way weird because like they do
Yeah.
all the different flavors, the mango, the peach, and all that. And sometimes they take it a little bit too far. But then like my mother-in-law, she does water with packs
Lemon.
that,
I
yeah,
love those.
that don't have sugar.
Buy those every
I
time I go grocery shopping.
Yeah, see, I can't do that. Like I can drink a cold water like nobody's business now, but those I don't like. Like it tastes weird in my mouth. I can taste the ingredients they use for sugar instead of, and it bothers me. So there wasn't really a drink that I decided. I remember when I decided that I was going to control my sugar levels, I did go for about 2 months, right? Just
Got
straight
itchy.
water. Um, and again, I've done it before, so why not? So I went straight water, and then I introduced Coke Zero. Um, didn't have a recollection of how Coke tasted because it had been 2 months. So when I had a Coke Zero, it was like, yeah, this is what Coke tastes like. And
Yeah.
since then I haven't looked back. Um, so there was, I guess, a new thing added, but it didn't start that
With
way.
the idea, so there was a positive element you did have. It wasn't just I'm avoiding this because it's bad. You did have a positive element with saying it's because I want to be there for my kids. I want to
Yeah,
longer. So that is a positive element I think you brought to that goal when you're talking about, quitting soda versus I'm just not going to drink sodas because it's bad. You have
Yeah.
something positive tied to it,
There's
which
some
makes
motivation.
it gives you
True.
some more motivation than just stopping because it's bad. Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna quit smoking or social media or drinking, like sodas or, whatever it is. For me, like sometimes it was like, okay, I'm gonna stop going to bed so late. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'd be a night owl and I would just stay up all night and then
Yeah.
get up later than I wanted. And then I would be like, okay, well, but why am I going to do that? I needed something positive to introduce something.
Yeah.
So to me, to help me with like sticking to a goal of getting up earlier, I had to have something to look forward to when I wake up. So I have to do something that I enjoy. I have to do something that I find beneficial. And that's adding something instead of just focusing on adding something instead of avoiding something.
Yeah.
Instead of
Do that.
avoiding, see, I think that's where a lot of people can find some
Yeah.
success with it. That helped me with trying to get up earlier. It's like, okay, when I wake up, I'm going to go, go to the gym. I might go to the sauna, or I'm going to, watch, listen to this a podcast that I find informative or, educational
Yeah.
or,
Like
entertaining
this one.
like this one. Yeah. So if you guys want to wake up in the morning and listen to this podcast, feel free to do that.
Yeah.
Use that as one of your positive motivators for
Yeah.
the New Year's.
Yeah.
Um,
And I think like and I completely forgot. I was gonna mention this. Another way of fresh start, and it goes back to the psychological as well. I'll connect it, I promise. Is when you break up with someone or when you divorce or whatever,
Mhm.
or if someone does sorry, couple wise, there is a first start there. A lot of people, men and women, will go into the gym to lose weight. Um, and I think we've talked about this before, but not in the negative way, more in the positive way. But we've gone into journeys of losing weight, and we've gone to points where like the diets that we try, we just don't like. They're just too
yeah.
extreme, or they're just not for us, or whatever it is. And we get to the point where like, hey, are you comfortable with me being this way? And we both say yes to each other. And I think that
Right.
Is
that
that
is
a
a
good?
negative. That's a
That's a
negative.
negative in what you're
It's,
saying.
it's like, yeah, like, are you happy? Like, yeah, I'm content. I am
Yeah.
content with her looking at how she looks right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that to me, but I guess that does add a negative effect. And I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna start calling Amaris ugly so that she can go to the gym, but I'm trying to say that if there was a new start in her life, if I died or um, if for some reason she
Let's
convinced me for a divorce, I don't know how she would
uh,
do that.
let's hope
Uh,
those things don't happen, but yes.
then I think it would be easier for both of us to go to the gym because we're finding this new start. We probably want to find someone else and stuff like that, and we would go to the gym and lose weight.
Hmm.
And then a lot of people do that.
Yeah, breakups are interesting. You brought that up. That is for a lot of people, sometimes it's negative feelings, obviously, with the breakup, but it makes them want to have a clean start, or a fresh start, a clean slate.
Yeah,
It creates that desire to have that. And sometimes that does motivate someone to go to the gym and start working out and like getting
yeah,
healthier. It can have that
yeah.
effect. Yeah.
And honestly, like a lot of couples, and I think it's a healthy marriageable thing, but it's also an unhealthy, I guess, in the sense of being healthy with one another. Like it's healthy to be comfortable with your spouse, but I think if the comfortableness is to be unhealthy with one another, that's where it can become an issue.
Yeah.
Because then we're kind of allowing each other to hurt ourselves, I guess,
Yeah.
in an unhealthy way and be content with that, right? So, kind of just
It is
advising
it
that.
is an interesting take because you guys can look at it more from I'm not married, so you guys can look at it more from a married couple of seeing like how your goals affect each other. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's best if you guys are on the same page and you support each other as far as your goals or
Yeah.
resolutions or whatever,
Yeah.
it can be more effective if you have your partner, it seems, to be in support of your
Yeah.
goal and being on the same page and, helping each other out achieve those goals.
Yeah.
Particularly we've been talking about health tonight, but yeah, so I can
Yeah.
imagine that would be very, because I mean, they have like the biggest, I imagine they have the biggest influence on
Yeah.
your goals and, what
Yeah, I
your
mean,
health and
in bad habits. I mean, like imagine like I guess back to smoking. Like you're a smoker, you find a spouse or someone that you're dating that also smokes, and then a year into you dating, you go, you know what? I really want to quit smoking. Well, your spouse is gonna be like, why? Like,
we've
like
been smoking
that's
this whole time.
that's our thing, right?
That's yeah, that's how we connected. You can't quit
Yeah.
smoking now.
Yeah. So, or like if you met your spouse in a bar and then honestly you
Drink.
I want to be clean of alcohol, right? Which is another topic that we can hit. Like, I don't think everyone can have some control on alcohol, but some people need to definitely be completely clean. Um, but if you meet your spouse in a bar and that's what you do, like you drink with your wife
Drink with
or
them.
spouse
Yeah.
every night, your spouse has to be included into that goal, or else it's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's hard. It makes things very hard, yeah, if they're not really in support. Like they connected with you. They love, drinking with you, and then you said, "Oh, I'm gonna stop drinking."
Yeah.
Like you really have to, that can make things difficult.
Yeah. We can't. I can't just say I'm going to do salads all day, and because I'm the one that cooks, and like, okay, what's
She's
bad? Like
she's gonna be
figure out
like,
how you're going to
okay,
eat, right?
yeah.
It's the other way around. Yeah,
But it's the other way
like,
around. If she
yeah.
was telling you that we're gonna have salads, I want salads every day for every meal.
We can
For
have side salad.
Yeah,
side salad, what's the difference
at
between a
least.
side salad and a regular? Oh, you just mean that well,
But
you just don't want the salad as the main course, is what you're
salad,
saying.
No.
yeah, he doesn't
Okay,
be the
that's what you're saying.
entree. He wants it as so he
S-
wants a
Just
meat,
a
like a
side.
lot of meat, and then one side, and then another side being the salad.
Okay, that's what you mean when you're talking about a.
Like,
You don't want it the main course of the
yeah,
Yeah,
meal.
I don't want it to be the main course.
who asked
Yeah.
me?
Okay, so one of the I sorry, I want to say this story real fast. One of the three times I remember that I had a main course salad was in a fundraiser that I got invited for Christmas in Oklahoma. And the secretary, she said, "Hey, I have a +1 to this fundraiser. You want to go with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." I think it was the year that we weren't married yet. So, anyways, I went with this, which I guess I should say because it sounds sketchy. She's like 50 years older than me. Like I saw her as it was no romantic there, right? But anyways, she was gonna
Just
go with her sister. Her sister couldn't go, so I decided to go with her. And went to the fundraiser, and she's like, "Oh yeah, they're gonna serve us something really good, blah blah." And the main course was a freaking salad, and
what?
they had the audacity to bring me a menu of three different salads. That the difference was like one day, like
You get
pecans.
three choices
Yeah,
of
you
your
want
salad.
pecans, cranberries, or like what?
You're like, I don't want any of
Are
it.
you sure
I
you're
don't want a
raising
salad.
money here? Because
Yeah, that's
most
funny.
fundraisers would serve steak.
That's true. They're gonna serve like lasagna, spaghetti, steak, pizza.
Okay, what are you talking about?
It was a
Oh.
nice place. Like it was a really nice place that I went to. I think if you went to that place and if you saw the people that were there, you would understand the disbelief that I had when I was served grass
So
for as a main
I
meal.
see. There's a difference between like a mediocre bland salad and like a super delicious salad, because you can add like so many different things to salad. There's so many
It
ways you
had a
can
lot of
make
things.
it.
It really had a
Yeah,
lot of
it
things.
had a lot in it. Okay, it wasn't just iceberg lettuce, croutons,
No, no, no,
and
no, no.
some
It was a
some
beautiful salad.
dressing.
If I
Yeah.
had a camera, I would have taken a picture. Um, for remembrance of how I went hungry that day. Um,
Did you eat the salad? You ate it. You just were still
I
hungry,
did
huh?
eat it actually. I mean, like I said, this is one of the three times that I can remember eating salad as a main course. I did eat it, but I remember leaving that place,
Hungry.
going home, or on my way home,
Or you got stopped
stopping
and got some
and
food?
buying something. I remember. I probably, yeah, probably
You got Chinese?
or Chinese, yeah, or Asian food. Uh, one or the other. I was very
Wow. The
disappointed.
people who did that fundraiser are listening now. I mean, wow.
It should have been.
Wow.
It should have been part of the invitation. We're serving salad. I sat there for 2 hours and a half.
You're just sitting there like munching on your salad, all sad and stuff, eating
Yeah,
your salad,
yeah. Well,
all
because
hungry.
I went in with the mentality of like, I'm not gonna have Coke. I'm not gonna have Dr. Pepper. It's probably gonna be tea or water, and it was
Yeah.
unsweet tea with a salad.
Unsweet tea. They didn't even have sweet tea. This is a
No,
really healthy.
no.
This
In
is a really healthy
Oklahoma,
fun.
who are
Who
these
lives?
people?
It's not. Yeah, it's not Florida, California. It's Oklahoma. I
Yeah,
wouldn't expect that to be so
no.
healthy. Unsweet tea and salad. That's when you're real. No, did they have dessert though? They, but you don't really like dessert, do you?
You know what? I feel like yeah, they did have dessert. It was one of those like when you sit down, the dessert was already like around the table. It was part of the decoration.
Oh,
Yeah. And I feel like my mentality was I have to finish this salad so that it doesn't look bad to
to
go
get
straight to the
dessert.
dessert. Yeah, because I
Oh,
was hungry. I honestly was hungry. Honestly, I thought I was gonna go and like have a
yeah,
good meal,
yeah,
hoping that the person next to me didn't show up and be like, "Oh yeah, he's here.
yeah.
Put a plate
It's
there for please," and then eat a second plate. But no,
yeah. Yeah,
so
it does take a lot to fill you up. Like when I eat salads, like when I eat a salad as a main course, I need a big salad. I'm talking about like a big
yeah,
bowl of salad because the calories in the vegetables, they just don't fill you up. You have to eat a
no.
massive amount of like vegetable and
That's
salad
why
to get full.
side
You have
salads are good.
yeah, you have to eat a lot of salad. And
I can't.
but
I don't.
uh,
I can't relate to that because I can eat a medium sized salad and I'll fill up right away. But the thing is, I will be hungry like an hour later.
But see,
the
her salads always have a fillet. Like you have chicken.
I,
chicken fillet,
yeah.
She has chicken with her salad. And I think I can do that. Like if I had a piece of
but
chicken cut
with
up,
grilled chicken? Are you talking about like
doesn't
breaded
matter
fried
if it's
chicken?
It's grilled
grilled, if
chicken.
it's barbecue chicken, if it's I don't care, Popeye's chicken.
You what?
That
That's just putting Popeye's chicken on a salad
that defeats
defeats the
the
whole
salad
purpose.
whenever you have fried
Oh man,
chicken.
that's
Like that drives me
uh,
nuts.
Now, what?
Popeye's
Put that
chicken on a
salad in
salad.
between two buns and a piece of
Oh,
meat. Put a little
Yeah, that's
slice
what
of
you call
cheese.
that's what you're like. It's a salad now. I just put some bread on it.
Yeah.
Oh
What? You
man.
have toast with your salad?
So your deconstructed salad, what you'll do
I
is you'll
think
get the
you
veggies and the
understand.
bread and the meat for
Yes.
you, and then you'll just put it together. I also wanted to hear more. I wanted to hear Amaris hasn't had a chance to answer the question yet. I did want to
Yo,
give
I
her
don't
a
even remember the question.
Oh, it was like, do you find that starting new habits is easier than quitting bad habits?
Oh,
Do you think that
I
starting
don't know,
something
man.
new
I
is
think it depends.
easier?
It depends on the. It's very circumstantial with me. It depends on the situation. So when it comes to social media, that was the thing that I wouldn't do Lent, but I would fast. When I was younger, and it was so hard for me to be off of social media because I'm a very social person, and like if I'm in my house, I still have to communicate with the world somehow. So that would
Yeah.
be super, super hard for
She's
me.
not a prisoner, guys, by the way.
No,
Just in
she's
case
like,
that made it sound like she can't leave the house.
I know. She's talking
She
about
just
her
doesn't.
youth
Like,
with
Okay,
her parents.
I know. She wasn't a prisoner then, I don't think
No, she
either.
wasn't a
So,
prisoner then
I mean,
either.
low key, but whatever.
okay, well, maybe she was.
Um, anyways, and starting new things, it's also depends on what it is. It's very circumstantial. So if it's something that I feel like I'm going to enjoy or something that's gonna make my life easier, then I'm all for it. I'm trying to think of an example, but I'm having a hard time because
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I mean,
doing,
I understand what you're saying. Like,
yeah.
I didn't realize I've actually started a good habit. I get introduced, like I told you guys, I've been doing Duolingo. So like I know a lot of people use sometimes like learning a language as a New Year's resolution. I still don't really know Spanish, but I guess what? I have a streak on Duolingo, at least I have like let me check now. It's like 400 something
Like
days. But
4
that was like
days.
no, no, I hope I didn't lose it. I'm like checking right now. I think it's like 424 days.
Oh wow, that's more than a year.
I know I have more than a year on Duolingo streak.
Wow.
It's 446 days, a
Yeah.
Duolingo streak. So that's like starting something new.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I can give an example. So whenever I follow this like cleaning schedule that I found on Pinterest where it's trying to have you have or it's trying to teach you to have a clean house like all the time. The title of
Yeah.
the Pinterest is like how to have a clean house all the time. Something like that.
Yeah. How to have a clean house all the time? That's what it said.
It's such a long title. But anyways, so it basically it goes through the week and says like Monday or no, every day you do a load of laundry. Every day you sweep. But Monday you focus on the living room. Tuesday you focus on the bedrooms. Wednesday you focus on the bathrooms. Thursday you focus on the kitchen and the dining room. And then Friday, like you can take a break or whatever. And you can take a break on the weekend. Um, so when I start things like that I think are beneficial and in the long run is gonna make my life easier. Cause like if I'm cleaning every day little by little, then whenever like my parents are coming, I don't have to like surface clean if that makes sense. I just need to focus on like
The details.
the details, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Stuff that
much easier than
yeah,
letting it build up and then having to do a big clean versus
exactly.
doing a little bit at a time.
Right,
Much, much easier.
exactly.
Yeah. And then for me, like if I want to be cleaner this year, I'm just gonna hire a maid. And I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do that. I don't have the money for that. I'm not not yet,
So
but
stuff like that.
I'm
Since
like,
it, since I mean, cleaning makes me happy. Just like
no. You
anything
enjoy
like that.
cleaning.
I
You
love cleaning.
enjoy. And I don't really like cleaning, but it's necessary. I don't like being in a dirty space. I'm not what I would call a clean freak, but I'm not like super dirty either. Like I reach a breaking point where I'm like, this house needs to be clean or this area
Like,
needs to be clean.
Yeah.
Like it
I,
does because it affects my mental health. I can't be mentally okay in a dirty spot for too long.
mhm.
I like to organize. I don't, I'm not gonna say I like cleaning. Because like if I think sweeping, wiping stuff down, that doesn't, it doesn't want me
That's the
like it
part I
doesn't.
enjoy.
And for me, it's like if I see dirty dishes in a pile, like to me, it's like I want to wash them, put them organized to dry, and then put them away when once they're dry. Or like in my room where I sometimes record from for my other YouTube stuff. If my books are all disorganized, I like to organize them if I have the space, which I don't have the space right now. But if I had the space to organize them all by author, by
Arthur?
section, yes. And also Steven and whoever the name of that person is. Okay. And John
Oh,
and all that. So I do enjoy organizing stuff. I organized her material.
Oh, that
Uh,
was so satisfying, but I messed it up already.
she messed it up already, but that was one of my summer goals this past year
yeah.
was to organize all her
So
material,
you
which is still pretty much organized.
so
There's still, I mean, there's what's disorganized is the garage.
you
Where,
know,
yeah,
yeah.
go for it.
I was saying, I'm thinking, you're reminding me of Sheldon in The Big Bang when he enjoyed organizing? Who was someone's closet? It's making me
Yeah.
It was
remember that
Sam's
show.
closet, and
Yeah.
just hours. And but Bernadette, so they wanted, or Bernadette said it was mean to have Sheldon do that, but then she got upset, and then she was like, "Show him the closet."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
reminded that episode just came to my head as you're talking
Yes.
about enjoying organizing. And like for me, I don't fully enjoy organizing, but I like organization, but I don't enjoy the process. So for me, that's something I have to be intentional about. And that actually, I don't know how we're looking on time. Like, I don't know, but it was kind of bringing us to closer to the end of the podcast. I wanted to talk about what our resolutions might be for 2025.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas yet, I mean, I know it's New Year's for you guys, but we still have a little bit to go.
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
we're still putting it together.
I do. I
You
want
have
to lose
one?
weight again. I gained weight since I lost weight. I haven't gained it all the way
Yeah.
back because I was basically 300 pounds. I was like 298 to 299. So I haven't gained it all the way back, but I want to go back and even further down from where I was. Hopefully hit 240 or maybe 235 sometime this year. I do want to go back to the gym. I wanna cut down on, so with the weight loss, all these things kind of go to it. So gym, I want to cut down on drinks to kind of hopefully put it only on meals and do more water throughout the day. Because I do drink water, but I kind of just chug the water when I'm thirsty. And then when I'm working or doing like right now on the podcast, I'm drinking soda, right? So I don't want to do that while I'm doing this kind of stuff. I want to just drink water, which I've already started trying to implement more of my day. So, but so those are those small steps for that one. I do have another resolution of for me, it's kind of the opposite of her. I'm a very bad at communicating with people. Um, I can go years sometimes.
We know, we know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just
I
kidding.
can go. Yeah, no, I can go days,
You-
months, years, weeks. It doesn't matter. And whenever I connect with someone else again, for me, it feels like we haven't disconnected for that long, right? For them, it probably does, and I understand
Yeah.
because everyone's different. But for me, it's that's just how I'm
You're
wired.
a low maintenance friend. You're a low maintenance
When it comes to, well, you would
friend.
think, but then for some people, they need that constant communication, right?
Yeah.
So there's two aspects of that. I want to be more or better at communicating with not just my family, but extensions of my family, as well as friends and stuff like that. Reaching out to people more, less on just saying I'm sorry you lost someone, which is kind of like right now that's all I do is if I ever reach out to someone it's because someone
They
died in
lost
my family.
someone. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to do that in that personal aspect. I have mentioned that I have my own YouTube in my own personal time. It's my other hobby. They've really wanted me to restart and revive a Discord, which is like a chat place where people just kind of come and communicate, and we just talk about the stuff that we're watching, reading, or whatever in the anime world. So I kind of want to revive that. I kind of want to hit that up again. And I've had about 8 people who are gonna help me construct that back from what it was. And it's like I think I opened it 7 years ago, it said, and I don't remember, but I know at one point I had like 8 or 9 people that moderated for me. They were doing all the work for me, and I think that I kind of let it be. And when I stopped being part of it, it just went downhill. And again, for me, it was like, oh yeah, they're communicating, good for them. I'm not gonna communicate. I'm the same way in almost any
Yeah.
text group. Like I'm in the text group with my wife's family and
And we're in one
and
too.
yeah, and we're in one too.
And
Well,
Urban texts the least. Urban texts the least out of everyone in the
I
group,
do, I
maybe
do. I
in all
text
our
the
groups.
most in that group. I text the most in that group, but in her family group, my own family group, I never text.
You and F.
Yeah,
They
I
never text
It's just
back.
it's not me. Like I don't communicate, and it's not like I'm not in social media because I am in social media. I am looking at social media oftenly, but it's just not me to be one there communicating. So
Uh,
yeah, those are
I'm more
my
like, yeah.
yeah, those are my two main ones right now that I kind of want to hit. Um, it I think would be intentional for me to, I mean, like you said, get a head start, right? Why wait till just
Start now, yeah.
yeah. Which I actually I was gonna hopefully start these days that are coming up in my vacation. I was gonna start going to the gym and not wait until New Year's. Start now before Christmas. 'Cause I know Christmas is gonna be heavy with food.
Yeah. Wait till right after Christmas and then
Yeah,
start,
yeah.
huh? Yeah.
No, I'm gonna start now, probably this Saturday. And yeah, so I wanna definitely get a head start on that. And I had a third one in mind, but
Mm,
it just went away. So I don't know. It probably was not that important.
yeah.
Um, I,
Amaris, do you want to go next or do you want me?
Yeah, you can go next.
Okay. Well, for me, I'm still refining. I don't usually do resolutions, but I'm the same as you. If I'm going to start something new or goal, I'm going to start it now. Like
yeah,
before New Year's, before January 1, I'm going to start. My goals are, I'll give you an idea of what the resolutions will be around. This year, I've been inconsistent with going to the gym. I will go to the gym for like, for a month, I'll be hitting the gym like 3, 4 times a week. And then suddenly I'll miss a month or two. So it's been pretty inconsistent. And the next year, I definitely want to focus more on my health and getting to the gym more. Like my goal right now is I may refine this, but I want to go to the gym a minimum of like 4 days a week. Minimum 4 days a week, where I'm like,
yeah,
okay, I have no excuses. I'm going there 4 days a week. And then sometimes I might go 5 or 6, but the minimum will be 4. Like I'm not letting it slip, I'm not missing too many days, and that'll keep me from missing too many. Um, another goal might be like I mentioned the financial, like I want to save some amount of money next year. I don't know what amount that's going to be. I'm going to have to think about it a little further, but my goal is going to be to save, and I'm going to have a specific number, and then I want to save that amount somehow because, I have a lot of things to pay for, so I need to save some money. And then I think that's most of my. Oh, I want to be more scheduled and organized because sometimes I'm like a free-flowing person. I need to be more intentional about having a schedule. I have a lot of activities. I'm doing a lot of things, in the, 2025. Like I'm doing this podcast. I have my job. Now I'm also doing acting. So I have to prepare like, memorize lines and do scripts and do like video auditions. So I have a lot to do, and the only way I'm going to be able to accomplish, everything successfully is sometimes I need to have better time management. So my goal is I've already started drafting, schedules for the week. I'm going to try to make a year outlook on like what my schedule is going to be like and how all those goals are going to fit in. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. But I definitely want to start being the better time management and schedule before the January 1st. But that's just a little idea of what some of my resolutions are probably going to look like. But I'll pass it over to Amaris. if you-
Okay, so my first one is that I want to be more affectionate with Urban. So we may talk about this later on in our podcast, but a lot of the first years of our relationship, we've been together for 9 years, I believe, right? 10,
Is it
11,
coming up on 9? No,
12. I don't know.
it's 8.
well,
It's
For-
8 and some change. It's coming
it's
up
it's
9 in
it's eight and a
2025.
half. It's gonna be
it's
9 in
Married,
May.
married.
Not
Oh,
Well,
Married, you've been
married,
together
I was
longer.
talking about dating.
Dating, if you
oh,
include dating, it's like
dating wise, yeah, it's 12 years. 12 years.
12 years of dating.
So, anyways, um, about I don't know, like 3 years of those of our relationship, the first 3 years, it was mostly done in secret. Like, so part of or because of that, I wasn't very like affectionate with him. Like, we did like more side hugs and more like handshakes or whatever. And so, um, I want to be able to go away from that, like to be more free and like hold his hand and give him a good hug, give him a kiss,
So
or
more PDA.
more PDA for sure. Like, even recently, our own daughters are like they're becoming more observant and they ask a lot of questions. So recently, one of my daughters was like, "Mom, do you love daddy?" And I'm like, "Yes, of course I do." And she was just like, "Oh, it's because you don't, hug him or kiss him that much." And that was like eye-opening to me. I was like,
Oh,
"Okay, this is in
mm,
our own home." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so, and I think Irvin was trying to be respectful, or was like trying to
yeah.
like trying to say, like, they're little kids, they don't need to see us like hug or kiss or
Yeah.
whatever. But in my perspective, like, I want them to be able to see mom and dad love each other.
Yeah, the
And
physical
the
affection
rest
can be,
of
evident. Like I kind of understand where Urban's coming from a little bit because I can love you and I can be your friend, and I don't have to. I can go years without hugging you or touching you, and I'm like, I still love you so much. Like that's me. I'm like, I don't have a marriage relationship right now, but if my friends, I'm like, I never haven't hugged you in years, but I still love you so much. And sometimes, but I don't
That
have a
means a lot, bro.
problem. Huh?
That means a lot.
No, yeah, like if I don't hug you for a long time, it doesn't mean I don't love you. To any friends out there, people. But I don't have a problem with like hugging or physical touch. Like I
Yeah.
don't, it doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. It's just like sometimes I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't know how we got on this subject, but
Well, it was
I,
part of my
you're part
resolution.
of your resolution, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So, and that's another thing, is because, like, I feel like I used to be more affectionate like when I was younger, and then somewhere along the way, like, I started to become uncomfortable with it, or like it's like I don't want to be touched. And I don't think that I should be that way with my husband. So that was a part of it. But also, like, I want to be okay with, like, other people's hugs, because that's where I'm like, "Oh, you're like a stranger, why are you hugging
I
me?"
cringe a little bit when a
Yes.
stranger you barely know.
And
I mean, yeah,
I don't
it
do
does
that.
feel a little different when it's from a stranger. I will say that.
Yeah.
Like you see those signs of people like, I need a hug. I'm like, well, I hope someone gives you a hug because it's
Yeah.
not me. I'd rather give you $1 or five
Yeah.
bucks than give you a
Yeah.
hug.
What's my second one? My second one is weight loss, and specifically, I want to exercise more. Um, I want to dance more. I think I used to dance a lot when I was younger too, and I don't do it as often. And I definitely want to do more of that. And then my third one, I want to be more successful in my job, in my business. Um, so I get out of it whatever I put in, and there's times where I'm like, I need, I don't know why, but I guess it's because of the kids. I'm like, I just need a break. And so I give myself breaks. And sometimes I think it becomes excessive. And then it's like, oh no, I don't have any money. And then I work super, super hard for like 3 days until I get the money that I need. And then I take breaks again. And I just think, I don't know, I think it'd be a lot easier, or a lot more effective if I do kind of like how we were talking about with the house, just like do little by little, like each day work on something, and then like if I need a break, maybe just take the weekend off and that's it.
I can
Okay.
relate. I can relate. A part of what I was saying in my resolution was being more organized with the schedule, and that a part of that is not waiting to the last minute to do things. So like I can procrastinate at times, and being organized and disciplined, that's part of me looking at a schedule. And once I set my mind to something, I usually want accomplish it. But I have to be really intentional about, setting goals, setting a schedule. And then sometimes, like we talked about earlier, dividing it up into chapters, can make things easier because it seems like you have these new beginnings as you move along towards your goal. Like you're saying with your cleaning schedule, you're doing something each day. It's better than just having one big day to clean the house. That sounds a lot better than me doing little bit at a time versus, having like a huge
I have
burden or a
big house,
mountain.
but
Huh?
We don't, and that actually is part of the problem. We need more storage.
You, you
Because there's a
do,
lot of
guys.
things that we
They
like.
have a lot of stuff, guys. I helped them move. They have a lot of stuff.
I I think we try to downsize and we still like we have a lot of stuff. Oh, and then not that I'm complaining, but then like so we downsize and we get rid of stuff and then like we go to Eagle Pass and then we always come back with a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
So,
so
The
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 girls always buy toys or my parents always buy them toys whenever they go to the flea market with them. And then my mom always buys them clothes. And then recently I had a friend that gave us two big huge boxes of clothes and I was like,
oh man, you guys do
oh
have a lot of
my
clothes.
goodness. I was like, so much clothes, so many
which
So,
things.
we're glad. Like again, we're
Yes.
glad because the girls, especially our two smaller ones, they go through clothes like nobody's business.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes they ruin their clothes. They're babies, toddlers. They're growing very fast. So we're happy. Don't stop sending clothes,
so
but stop sending clothes.
yeah, you have too much. So, and the next topic is going to be minimalism. Well, not next. One of these days we're going to have minimalism as a
Yeah,
topic.
yeah, Wolf. Why can't you have a blank background?
I know. See, like ours is more minimalistic than yours.
Yeah.
You can see my blurred background. Looks like I have a
Yeah,
curtain in
yeah.
the back. So, uh,
There is a reason why we don't hang stuff in our walls, but that's for another day,
another episode. Well,
another
We have
episode.
so many things to talk about.
yeah,
Yeah,
well, we have a lot to look forward in future episodes, guys.
yeah.
So
Yes.
please stay tuned.
This
And I
this was a good topic for sure for the last day of the year. It is past a whole hour already, so we are gonna have to close way past an hour. So we're gonna see. We're gonna edit some stuff out, maybe probably not. We'll just keep it extra long. Why
a
not?
special New Year's
Especially New Year's.
episode.
But yeah, the Christmas one was also extra long. So let's keep the train going, right? I think part of it we're just getting more comfortable with each other in camera. Um, for those that have tried podcasting, that's probably one of the struggles in the beginning is just being comfortable with talking. So I think we're getting to that point where we're comfortable just expressing ourselves. So that's great. Thank you, Wolf, for this topic.
Yep.
I know it's for for some of us with that have that we're working or Amadeus that have the kids and she's also working. Uh, it's hard to come up with the questions and the articles and all that, but we do have more ideas. We do have more stuff. We don't know when this season. I know podcasts have seasons. We don't know when exactly it's ending, but it will be ending. To give us some time to record more and maybe give us a break from the podcast. But thank you guys so much for listening and watching. We've met our goal of 100 followers, both on Facebook and TikTok this past week.
Yay.
So yes, thank you so much. I think we've only before we posted the third episode, we had already reached it. So with just two
Yeah.
episodes, we are already getting some followers. So thank you so much for those that are following us. Watch us, listen to us, don't just follow us.
Yeah.
Um,
Comment, please.
yes.
So I what was the thing I talked about we said something about, oh, I think like the house, needing a bigger house. If
Yeah.
y'all like and comment and all that, eventually you can help us get a bigger house.
Yeah.
If you, yeah, yeah, one day in the future.
Get Mama Amelie's
And
a
I just
house.
need a house, and I just need a house, guys. One day. I don't have a
Yeah.
house, so.
If 100,000 followers just said $1, kidding. Yeah. But thank you guys so much for this. We are gonna start the new year the next week with another episode, so we're not gonna stop. We have plans for sure for that. So thank you again, Wolf. Thank you, Amaris. You have any comments?
No, I
No,
think.
No? Okay.
good night.
Then have a good night or a
Have a
good
good night,
or a
guys.
good
Thank you.
day whenever you're watching or listening. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
I